G'day, and thank you for joining us on TurnerNewZealand.com. Today, I'm going to share with you how to prepare a organic, grass-fed, hormone-free, antibiotic-free Turner Striploin, known as a New York steak or a strip. That's what it is, the same thing. It's a Turner Striploin. Absolutely delicious, a piece of meat. It's all organic, it's grass-fed, it's from New Zealand. Good for you, great taste, great flavor. And most importantly, it's good for your body. So here we go, let's get going. First thing you need to know is that the Turner Striploin is going to arrive to you in a chilled form. It's going to have about a 30-day age on it. So it's been beautifully aged for you. And it's ready for you to just prepare as I'm about to share with you what to do. Okay, we're into it. Let's go. Let's have some fun. First thing is we're going to take it out of its vacuum bag. Beautiful. Look at that. We just got to put it straight onto the counter. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to wipe all that blood off it. We're going to dry it off. Don't be scared of the blood. It's all okay. Here we go. Get plenty of paper towels. Have plenty of paper towels handy. We're just going to dry it off. That's what we're going to do. There we go. And it's going to have a fat cap on, and we're going to strip that whole fat cap off because we don't eat fat, and that's natural. What's on that's natural grass-fed fat on the top there, and we're going to trim all that off in a minute. First thing I want to do is I just want to dry it all off. That's the most important thing. The reason it's important that we take the moisture off is just going to cook better when it's dry. So we don't have any moisture going into the pan. That's the reason. So I want to dry it off and have no moisture going into the pan. That's the reason. That's the only reason I want it nice and dry. It's just for the cooking preparation. A lot of people don't understand the details, the finer points in cooking. And these are very important. We want to have a great product to end up with to enjoy. So we just want to get all the moisture we can off of the Turner Striploin. And what will happen is I'm going to cut a couple of beautiful Turner Striploin steaks off, and the rest we're going to wrap. I'm going to show you how to wrap it and store it, and that'll bring the blood and the moisture out as well, and it just makes it even more enjoyable when you go to cook it. Because again, in the finish, we just don't want any moisture in the pan. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the fat side. I'm going to strip that all off, the fat, because we don't want any of that on our Turner Striploin when we go to cook it. So I'm going to turn it over, and you see that fat cap there, and what we're going to do is, what you got to do is you got to just get your knife and just trim it off. See that? We're going to take all that fat off. I got a waste bin down here. I'm just going to drop it into the waste bin, and there's silver skin underneath. That'll come off as well. And see, and you come down to the meat like that. So there we go. It's really easy. Don't be scared. Have fun with it. That's the key. Have fun. We're going to take that off like that. No problem at all. We're going to trim it all off. And this only takes a couple minutes. It's not a big job. And we leave the fat on because that's how it comes on the animal, and also it just keeps the integrity of the piece of meat as well. So we leave it for the consumer or the restaurant to cut it off. And then you're going to find at one end there's going to be this little piece here. It just sits as a flap that sits on top, and there's some silver skin. I want you to take that right off. As you can see, it's underneath. I want you to take that off. Now you can use that for a Turner steak sandwich if you want to. You keep that piece. But the reason I wanted you to take it off, because in there is some silver skin. As you can see right here, it's a piece of silver skin. And now I'm going to trim that right off. It's just a layer there. And it's got to come off. And we got it off. There it is. That's the piece of it. Just sits at one end of the Turner Striploin. Take it off. If you want to use it, cook it up for a Turner steak sandwich. But again, it's a little too stringy. You want to cut into smaller pieces. The bit on top's acceptable. But I just took that layer underneath that needed to come off. There's a little piece there I want to take out as well. Right there. And again, it's easy. And don't worry if you don't get it all. As you buy it and as you enjoy it, you will learn how to clean these up. Now that is gorgeous. That is ready to go. I'm just going to turn it over, and I just got a little bit on the other side. There it is. Now here, I'm taking it off. There's a bit of side muscle there. They call it side muscle because it had some silver skin on there. And again, you can cut. That's the silver skin I wanted to show you. Okay, that's why I took it off. It's just buried under a layer on one side. You'll see it, so don't be scared and don't be worried. And there it is, and you can trim the meat off and use it in a stew, casserole, whatever you want. So there's those extra pieces of meat. I'm just going to put them on a plate here, so you can see. You don't have to waste it. You can cook it up, trim it up, and use it later. Okay, there we go. It's fun. You can, like I said, you can just saute it in a pan, have it with some rice or some pasta. Millions and a myriad of things you can do with it. But what's important, we have just about prepared and got ready a Turner Striploin. And you're about to have the finest strip in the world. You'll see in a moment. Okay, here we go. I've got the Turner Striploin already. The first thing I always do, because I'm just a perfectionist and I can't help myself, so I'm just going to do, I like to square up the end. So I'll just take the end, cut, and I'll square it up, just like that. So you cook this, you got a beautiful Turner Striploin, nothing wrong with it. I'm going to put it on the plate. But now I'm ready to prepare for my family and for my friends, the best steak on the planet. That's next to the Turner ribeye and the Turner filet mignon. Now we've got the Turner striploin. I'm going to cut it about 1 inch thick. That's all you want to do, about 1 inch. Look at that. Wow. Look how lean it is. There's no corn oil in there. There's no fat in there. There's no marbling. You don't want marbling. You want it lean, where it's good for you. I'm going to cut another one off as well. Now, you're going to cut off what you want for dinner, and the rest you're going to put into an airtight container, and it'll keep for 1-2 weeks in your fridge. I'm going to show you how to wrap it. It's very important to wrap it and roll it in paper towels to take the moisture out. Let's wrap up now the Turner striploin that we don't eat, so it keeps for another day to enjoy. So I'll just take the paper towels, and I'll take that Turner striploin, and I'll wrap it just like that. Just wrap it about 4 or 5 times, because by the end of the day, you'll find that this paper towel is covered in blood. And that's a good sign. And when you see that, I want you to take it out and re-wrap it again. And just then re-wrap it once a day. And it'll keep taking the blood and the moisture out. And it's going to be absolutely perfect for you to prepare when you're ready to have another Turner striploin and another day, tomorrow, the day after, or whenever. Okay, we've got our 2 grass-fed, 100% grass-fed, 100% organic, 100% hormone and antibiotic-free Turner striploins ready to go. Here we go. First thing, all you need to do is put some Turner sea salt. It's organic Turner sea salt on top. We're going to put some black pepper on top. Now, the other thing, and I keep saying it and I want to say it again, you don't need to add anything else when you're cooking with Turner. Whether it's Turner king salmon, whether it's Turner's filet, whether it's Turner lamb rack, you don't need any other accoutrements, any other herbs, any other spice. You don't need to be marinating. You do that when your product ain't great. You don't need to do it when you got the best product on the planet. It's really important when you're doing Turner steaks, you want the pan smoking. It's smoking. We don't smoke because we're going to sear it. We're going to have a beautiful heavy sear on the Turner striploin, and we're going to have a rare in the middle. Trust me, please, first time, don't cook it any more than rare in the middle. You know, if you want to, after you had the first or second mouthful and you haven't already gone, wow, that's the best steak in the world, cook it a little more if you want to, but it's so lean you don't need to overcook it. It can be rare in the middle and nice and crusty on the outside. It's smoking, a little bit of olive oil. We don't want too much, that's it. Just a little, roll it around the pan. And when you know the pan's smoking, you know we're ready to go. And here we go. Just take one at a time. Just one in the pan. Here we go. Oh, yes. The sound. Oh, look at that. That's telling me it's perfect. It's sizzling. It's smoking. Wow. And we're going to go do 2 minutes each side on high heat. Wonderful. And here it is. I've had 2 minutes on that side. Now I'm going to just add a little Turner sea salt, a little bit of ground pepper before we flip it over. Here we go. And we're going to flip it over. Now this should be nice and crusty. Here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. Look at this. Is perfect. This is beautiful. That's what we're looking for. You're going to get a beautiful mouthfeel when you bite into that. Let's finish this side, and we're about to enjoy the finest striploin on the planet. This is ready. We've had 2 minutes each side. Look at this. Let's have a look at it. Oh, yes. It's gorgeous. Now, what I do, I finish the edge off. I'll put about 30 seconds on the edge like that. I'll just sit it there and sear it like that. So the edge gets a nice crust. And I'll do the other side as well. Like that. 1 second. Come on, you little darling. There we go. I'll sear that. Just hold it there like that. And she's ready to go. And here we go. We're going to enjoy it together. Wow. The finest striploin on the planet. The organic, grass-fed, hormone-free Turner striploin. Let's have a bite together, right? Now, before we enjoy it, remember, all we used was organic sea salt, that's Turner, and some beautiful olive oil. So we're going to put a little olive oil. We don't need any sauces. We don't need any butter. Just good, high-quality virgin olive oil on top. Some organic Turner sea salt on top. And we want a bit of fresh ground pepper. That's all. Trust me, it's going to be the finest bite you've ever had. Here we go. Come and join me. Here we go. Wow. And I said rare, didn't I? Look at that. Cooked perfectly. Mmm. Mmm. Wow. Delicious. Clean. Mmm. Thank you for taking time to watch TurnerNewZealand.com and enjoy your Turner striploin. God bless you.